She walked into the restaurant clutching her purse tightly, her stomach twisted in knots. Maya had been convinced by her so-called friends to go on this blind date. They had promised it would be fun, that maybe she'd meet someone kind. But deep down, she knew how they worked. They loved to mock her plain clothes, her quiet personality, her single status. She feared this was just another one of their cruel jokes. Still, part of her heart clung to hope that maybe, just maybe, there was someone real waiting for her. At the corner table sat a man who didn't seem to belong in this crowded restaurant. He wore a sharp suit, his presence commanding attention. But his eyes, a little tired and sad, softened when he looked up and saw her. This was Ethan Carter, a billionaire CEO, though Maya had no idea. To her, he was just a man looking at her as though she mattered. The moment she sat down, she realized something strange. Her friends were watching from a nearby table, barely concealing their laughter. They whispered and pointed, waiting for the humiliation to unfold. Maya felt her cheeks burn, but Ethan leaned closer and smiled warmly. "You must be Maya," he said gently. "I'm glad you came." His words were like a shield. For the first time in a long while, she felt safe. The evening went on, and Maya tried her best to hide her awkwardness. She told Ethan about her job at the library, her love for old books, her struggles to make ends meet. She expected him to laugh or get bored like others did. Instead, he listened intently, asking questions as though her words carried value. What she didn't know was that Ethan wasn't there for casual entertainment. He was a single father, raising a daughter after losing his wife years ago. He had wealth, power, and everything the world thought mattered except someone who could see past the title and truly understand him. Halfway through dinner, Ethan caught sight of Maya's friends. Their cruel grins gave everything away. He realized instantly this wasn't a genuine setup. She had been brought here to be mocked. Anger surged inside him, but when he looked at Maya, he saw strength in her eyes, even as she tried to hide her embarrassment. She had endured cruelty before. And yet, she hadn't let it break her. The challenges came quickly after that night. Maya wanted to run away, certain Ethan had only been kind out of pity. She avoided his calls, buried herself in work, and convinced herself he couldn't possibly care for her. How could a billionaire CEO be interested in a plain woman who had nothing to offer but her heart? But Ethan wasn't a man who gave up easily. He showed up at the library with his daughter, Lily, who instantly adored Maya. The little girl tugged at Maya's hand and asked her to read stories aloud. Soon, Maya found herself laughing, her walls slowly crumbling. For Ethan, it was clear this was the woman who could bring warmth back into their lives. Still, there were battles to face. Society whispered. The media mocked. People accused Maya of being a gold digger. Her friends resurfaced, spreading cruel rumors that she had tricked her way into Ethan's life. Maya nearly broke under the weight of it all, ready to let go before she ruined his reputation. But Ethan stopped her. One evening, standing before the very people who had once ridiculed her, he did something no one expected. In the middle of a crowded gathering, with Maya trembling beside him, Ethan turned, got down on one knee, and held out a ring. The room fell silent. Even her so-called friends froze, their mocking smiles fading into shock. "Maya," Ethan said, his voice firm but filled with emotion, "I don't care what the world thinks. From the moment I met you, you saw me not the CEO, not the money, not the headlines. Just me. And I can't imagine my life, or Lily's life, without you in it. Will you marry me? Maya's tears flowed freely. For a moment, she saw every cruel laugh, every rejection, every lonely night, and then she saw this man, choosing her in front of everyone. Choosing her not as a joke, but as his future. Yes, she whispered. Yes, I will. Dash dash. The proposal stunned everyone. The friends who had once mocked her lowered their heads in shame. Strangers who had doubted her now cheered. But most importantly, Maya realized something that night: love isn't measured by wealth, status, or appearances. It's measured by truth, by courage, and by the willingness to stand beside someone when the world tries to tear them apart. Ethan and Maya built a life together, not perfect but full of love. She became not only his wife but also a mother to Lily, proving that even the cruelest joke can turn into the most beautiful destiny when kindness and faith lead the way. Dash dash. By the end, their story left an unshakable message: never let others define your worth. Sometimes life's harshest setups are just the path to your greatest blessings.